sure that you explore all of your options. And surgery definitely is going to be the last option because it's more invasive and it's riskier, and there's, and if you can avoid surgery, you probably want to. But so I wouldn't say I was offended, but I was just, well, wow, I hope she doesn't feel like I'm that, foot down, no surgery ever, shame on you if you ever consider having surgery. Yeah, because obviously there's a handful of things that no amount of physical therapy or chiropractic or massage is going to change. And so the question always comes down to is, again, what's causing your pain? Can we have a positive effect on it? And a lot of our folks coming in with neck pain are going to have structural damage on their X-ray MRI. And this is one of my more favorite blog posts, is saying, well, I get folks that come in a lot, or I'll go out into the public, like to a community event, and I'll say, hey, how you doing? And I might even see someone I know and say, oh, how's it going? So, my neck pain is killing me. Oh. And they'll say, I said, oh, well, do you want to come in for therapy for sometimes? Oh, no, I have arthritis and there's nothing you can do about that. That was one of my articles too, right? I said, well, okay, but the average person that has arthritis to some level or the other. So do you have to get rid of your arthritis to feel better? Not necessarily. You just need to get rid of the pain associated with it, and maybe, and so for like this lady that I'm thinking of that I wrote the article about, her pain wasn't coming from her joints, it was coming from the muscles. So she had arthritis on an x-ray, but it wasn't the source of her pain anyways. So could we help her? Absolutely. Could I change the fact that she has arthritis? No. I mean, if you can do that, patent it and make $1 billion.
You can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Wow, we're all going to get it.
Yeah. So you talk about supplements, stuff like that. Is there stuff that you can do with that? Maybe. Maybe not. But again, you just have to focus on what you can have a positive impact on. So, do you have a question, Sue?
I have noticed that in all the years with issues and physical therapy and massage and all that, nobody ever talks about pillows and mattresses.
Yeah.
I have had tons of trouble with both.
Yeah.
And it's such a game. Is there any kind of baseline? I mean, you spend a lot of money on both of those.
Yeah. Actually, I've had a lot of similar requests lately about pillows, and I think I just need to...
Can you rephrase what you said? Because look in the other direction, and I
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
She was asking about advice on pillows and mattresses.
Yes.
Pillows and mattresses. Yeah, I need to write that down.
Thanks for asking that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So a lot of the PTs that I know will use a company called PillowWise. It's a higher end pillow, but it's one that you would actually get measured for. So usually it's either a physical therapist or a chiropractor would carry it. They would measure you, and then they would determine which pillow. I think there's like 6 different sizes and shapes.
Really?
So they would actually fit it to you. If you didn't want to get that sophisticated, I think it depends on how much structural change
Based
you have
on
in your
pain?
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will look into that, and Sue, I'll follow up with you. But in general, I think the average person just has too big of a pillow.
Yeah.
It's pushing their head forward.
Yeah.
And I think, in nature we'd be much flatter.
Every
And that
pillow
contributes
for
to
the
the
last
posture.
20 or 30 years that I bought, I have to rip half the innards out of it.
Do you really?
Yeah, I take
Yeah.
all the stuff, half the stuffing out of it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're sleeping up like this.
Pushing you forward.
Crazy.
Yeah. And some people too, if your goal is to get a flatter pillow, for some people that are really stuck forward, you can't overcorrect too quickly though.
Yeah.
So you said, well, hey, my posture is kind of stuck like this. If I give you a flat pillow, you end up sleeping like this with your head tipped back. That's very uncomfortable. So you have to kind of find the happy medium. And then if you can work on your posture over time and bring it flatter, then you can kind of ease your way down. But I think that's like with a system like that, I think that's why, they're measuring how far is your head off of the ground and things like that, and what size is your neck and things like that.
But does it make any difference if you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper? Yeah. Yeah,
and most of those pillows are going to be somewhat contoured, so you always have that level of support right here. So, yeah, I'm kind of a low-tech guy. I think kind of less is more usually, and I usually go just for a flatter pillow that gives me some support. You look at like feather pillows, to me, are just a nightmare.
those contour, what are the contours
Oh.
memory foam?
Geez,
Mhm.
those
And
things
they-
are awful.
It's kind of, it keeps your head flat.
Yeah.
Or not flat, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I did that with the mattress too. I had the memory foam, I had to get rid of that when I got hurt, but I got that really, really expensive Tempur-Pedic mattress,
Yeah.
$4,000.
Ooh.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not bad. I can, you know, it's, I don't know if it was any different than that 3-inch memory foam, topper, but it's, I mean, I'm desperate. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
I tell people I'll jump up and down and cluck like a chicken.
Yeah.
You will?
Try to, yes.
All right, come on up.
If-
Only on
No, I'm just kidding.
If you can get rid of some of the pain.
And it would
I
work.
will.
Yeah.
You know, I
agree.
will do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I tried the Neek and the magnetic mattress thing.
Uh-huh.
That helped for a point, but you know, it's the same price as those $4,000 mattresses.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna do both.
Yeah.
So, but they are helpful for some things.
Yeah.
What do you think about the iPillow? Or
The eye pillow. Oh, my pillow?
My Pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried it and we're pleased with it.
You like the my pillow? That's a local guy, isn't it?
No, it's
Yeah.
that
Is it
one from
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Oh,
yeah.
he is. Oh, he
Yeah.
sounds local on his ads. He does a good job, doesn't he?
But I also have a 4-inch foam, an eye pillow product.
Yeah.
I was just wondering about that as well.
You know, I've heard mixed things about the My Pillow. Some people like it, some people don't. Unfortunately, sometimes with pillows, it is a bit of trial and error. And if you feel like it supports you and it's keeping you fairly flat, I think that's probably best case scenario. And otherwise, there's just the definite ones you want to avoid, like I said, like feather pillows that squish when you turn and things like that.
They
So-
smother you when you go to your side.
Yeah.
But those that contour memory pillow, I think I got one actually, like J.C. Penney's or something. They were about $40. They're decent if you're on your back or your side, and then they have
Mhm.
they're flat with the hump. You can put that under your neck if you want a little bit higher support, or
Mhm.
I use the flat part under my neck, and they're really good for the side. I had to, with all the neck surgery I've had to really be careful with the neck, and
Yeah.
it's worked good. I got one of those gel ones too, and it's squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some folks like the gel because it stays cooler too, though.
Yeah, that's why I
People
got it.
get weird when it comes to keeping their heads cool at night. I got a friend who flips her pillow over in the middle of the night. She likes the cool underside of her pillowcase. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I did for my friends.
Is that what you? Yeah, yeah.
I put pillows underneath both shoulders too. I had to do all that when I was first home because I was so immobile. But pillow under the knees, pillow under the shoulder. I mean,
Yeah.
propped up
Well, and do you still do the pillows under the shoulders?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because long term that might actually be working against you because now you're rolling your shoulders forward.
I flop over
And
on the
it's-
side.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And that's the tricky thing with just making a blanket recommendation with pillows is that people actually do get structural changes in their neck where they can't pull it back anymore, or you get a flattening of your neck. So your neck has a natural lordosis, we call it, which is basically a back bend that way. So my neck bends back a little bit. But with degenerative changes, people will actually have a neck that just flattens out. And so again, where a contoured pillow might feel good to you if you can still kind of reach that back bending, but for someone who's flattened out, they're going to feel horrible because it's going to be trying to push them into what we would consider good posture. But if they're not flexible in that direction, it's going to be really painful. So like I said, there's a bit of trial and error when it comes to pillows. I'll be looking more into this type of thing, so I'll keep some of you guys posted on pillows and stuff. Yeah. Yep. More questions on necks.
Is it covered under insurance?
What's that? Neck treatment?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe
Mm-hmm.
I could have one of your staff look into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. And yeah, again, I think my biggest thing with neck pain is you really sometimes you just need someone who's just gonna get in there and fix it with their hands. And it's harder work, but I mean, you stay in physical therapy long enough and you get a lot of recycled, let's call them recycled clients. They've been here, they've been here. And if you just take 5 minutes and say, well, what do they do? You did physical therapy. I think I wrote a whole article about that, right? All the folks that tell me, well, I tried physical therapy and it didn't work. Okay, well, what did you do in physical therapy? Well, I did this and I did that, and I did this exercises and that one, I did those ones. And those are usually the folks that drop out after like 2 or 3 visits. because they're not feeling any better, and a lot of times they're feeling worse because the PT is telling them to stretch this way and do this way and do this, and they leave feeling worse with no real guarantee that they're ever going to feel better. And so if you just take a few minutes to talk to people and say, okay, well, what you didn't do was you didn't have someone go in and try to mobilize your joints. You didn't have someone who tried to work on these trigger points that are causing your headaches, or stretch you here, or do all of these things that are at our disposal. And sometimes the reason you didn't have that is because it's harder work for the therapist. Easier for me to stand behind my desk or whatever and give you the top 8 exercises on neck pain that you could have downloaded on Google, or you could have gotten my free report, for free. So those things do work to some extent, but usually it's that 2-step process of hands-on treatment, get your neck to a certain level, get the muscles to a certain level of comfort and mobility and the joints there, and then teach you the tools you need to maintain what you've gained. So make sure you're aware of your posture, make sure you learn enough about what's causing your pain in the first place so you can avoid it, make sure you know proper stretches and exercises and things like that. But you really can't skip the hard work by the PT. So that's my little soapbox, sticking to it. No one can knock me off, hopefully. But willing to debate it.
You keep talking about your articles, where do you find
Oh, so newspaper.
Newspaper.
Now, Wednesday or Thursday?
It's
or
Thursdays
Tuesday?
usually,
Yeah,
yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Every
He
week.
sends them to email to you.
I don't email the articles out usually.
Not the articles, but you're pretty good at sending out
it? I don't
news.
get the
Yeah.
Thursday, I don't get the
So this is
Thursday.
supposed to
Obviously,
be
I'm
here.
here.
Online, I don't read
What do you
anything.
get?
I
I
can.
just get Sundays.
Huh?
I don't get the newspaper
Yeah,
either.
it's just- I don't remember.
Do you still write comments in it?
Yeah, every
can't
week
tell
I
you
put
if
something out there.
Today's Thursday, I can't tell you, I'm retired, I can't remember.
I didn't put one in today.
Tuesdays or Thursdays?
took a break
or I
off. I
don't
took a-
remember what day you put it in. but-
It's
Yeah.
Thursdays usually.
So that's why you don't see it, yeah, Sundays.
But Rhonda, any of those that if you want I got a whole series on neck pain. If you want me to just print them off for you. Yeah,
They are good.
I can print them up.
Neck pain, back pain.
How did you find out about
Yeah.
tonight?
All of it.
Yeah.
How did you find out about tonight? I
Oh,
found out
I-
about it in the paper.
Oh, I found out they have it written on the board over there, and I've been coming in for my hip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I got them all. I can
You'll
print them off for
send you
you.
a free booklet if you go online and download it.
Yeah, got all sorts of good information. Yeah. Good. Any other specific questions right now on neck pain? Not too much? Go ahead, Jim.
I've gone to a chiropractor and he can crack my neck one way and it is super hard the other way. You can't crack it at all.
Yeah.
Can't loosen it up.
Yeah.
I went to one too, and he has those pillows,
The pillow-wise ones?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
but, and I didn't get one.
Yeah. They're expensive pillows.
Yeah,
But if they work, and you
I have
can
one
sleep.
week of the pillow-wise, and
Yeah.
I like
Are you
it.
talking
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
$100?
yeah,
I think they are like 120.
yeah, I think that's what they were.
Wow.
But they're,
My
the
insurance
older I
company-
get, which I'm not that old, but I've got kids, so sometimes I feel old. But the older I get, the more I appreciate the value of a good night's sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or when you're
Yeah.
young and you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on a chocolate kick lately, and the other night I was dead tired at 8 o'clock, but I ate an entire bar of dark chocolate, like a bar. And then about 8:30 I laid down to go to bed. I know it's early, but 8:30 if I'm tired, I just go to bed. And then I was just wide awake. Like, oh no. Now my eye is twitching and everything's going.
Yeah.
But I'll get to sleep tonight. Chiropractic though is a good topic. In general, I'm very friendly when it comes to chiropractors personally. Most of our therapists, are open-minded. It's just like PTs and PTs. There's chiropractors that do things differently than others. I think in general, if they give you good pain relief and they can, mobilize you, a lot of times we actually work well together. So I think don't be afraid when it comes to even, asking your therapist about a chiropractor or anything like that. Hopefully your therapist wouldn't take that personally anyways. You're just looking for things that could possibly help you. So I'm all for it, as long as you get one who's, careful and
I got a great chiropractor. I can't afford anymore. I lost my career with the injuries and, cause it was hands and stuff like that. And I mean, days like today, I wanna stab myself in the head.
yeah,
And that doesn't go over well when I say it. I wouldn't.
yeah,
But, I mean, there's some of the days the pain levels are just so high, I just sit home and cry.
yeah,
Mhm.
This is my 6 or 7 go around the therapy, but each time it's usually after a surgery or, you know, it's not, it didn't work, it's,
Sure.
you know, let's rehab this and then let's go rehab that.
Yeah.
And, you know, each time things go well.
Yeah.
And I get mobility or whatever, but, I mean, the pain, I can't deal with pain. I don't
Yeah.
care about the loss of mobility,
Yeah.
but the pain levels are just over the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, when it's most parts of the body, it's not that big of a deal. When it's up in my head, I can't think,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
You
I'm
can't
thinking-
sleep, and that adds to your pain, and that
Yeah.
adds to you can't sleep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't even
Of
open
course,
my
it'll be a
eyes sometimes.
vicious
So
circle.
gotta break the cycle. Were you trying any of the CBD products too, if you don't mind my asking?
CBD?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I started a few months ago, and probably 7 years ago, I actually tried the medical marijuana, and all that does is make you high. No, thank you.
Sometimes that's.
I had to quit drinking a few
Yeah.
years ago because of, not that I was a drunk, but any alcohol makes me sick now with
Yeah.
the other medications. I've been taking the CBD oil, quite a bit of it actually, and I mean, more power to the people that it works for. Great, good for you.
Is
Yeah.
that the one with the dropper?
Yeah,
Do you take
Yeah.
it orally or on your,
orally. I've got some of the cream. The cream actually helps a little bit,
Yeah.
but nothing. Voltaren gel helps some, but
Mm.
I can't.
Yeah, I use that once in a while.
Yeah, it works. It helps quite a bit, but I mean, some of this stuff is just insane.
Yeah.
You know, and
But it's more topical.
yeah, and you know, I mean, I know the CBD oil is supposed to have all these great. I mean, I got the strongest stuff they have at the place I go, and
Yeah.
I'll take it 5 or 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's all in most people's heads or if the stuff really does have properties, so I'm
Yeah.
continuing to try it.
Well, and you just might be at a different severity level than the average person too. You know,
I
you-
got hit pretty hard by the car.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
I would venture that
I
guess
broke
that.
everything but my left leg,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I tried really hard and, I'm pretty crabby about it.
Yeah. Well, you're just starting back up, so maybe this will be the.
It's been so long though, it's like, come with some of this stuff, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, stick with it, and we'll hopefully make some gains. Yeah. Yep. Well, good. Well, I'm going to wrap things up, and then I will stick around for any other questions people want to ask. But that last bullet point on what's next for options. Let's see. I've got that free report on neck pain. If people haven't already downloaded it or have it, I've got some hard copies here. So it's got some tips. If you're in the position where you want to talk to one of our PTs about your neck pain, we do what's called a discovery visit. So it's a free 30-minute consultation where the PT, whether it's myself or one of the other PTs here, will look at your neck and talk to you about kind of those two things that we mentioned today, which is what's causing your neck pain, and the second thing we'll do is help you figure out if we think we can help you. So before you necessarily jump through any hoops with a referral or talking to your doctor or insurance company, we're happy to do that just to let you know if it's worth your time to even look into it. So if anyone's interested in that, stick around and talk to Rosa here at the end, and she'll hook you up with a spot for the next week or so. And then, like I said, any specific questions, I put my email address on there. I'm happy to answer anyone's questions via email. Or if you just need more information or time before making a decision, just let us know. You know, we're not in any hurry. So let us know.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you all for coming to the workshop. Wasn't even 3 hours. Only seemed like 1, right?
Yeah.
Good. All right. And like I said, I'll stick around. So if you have more questions, just let me know.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Is there some kind of CBD that you guys are finding that actually works to help?
Sorry, what was that, Lauren?
Are you guys finding some